What's up guys, DJ back again with another video. Today is part 3 of my Q&A. A lot of investing questions, collecting questions, all Pokemon TCG related questions. This should be the last video for this series. I will do another Q&A in the future. I think people liked it. But yeah, let's just get straight into it and finish off the Q&A so then we can move on to other content. So let's take a look through my phone. All right, so first question is from MD Pokemon. They say, and what set did you start collecting? Well, obviously base set and stuff from back in the day, but my very first set coming back in was, I think, Fates Collide. That was my first booster box as well. So that was actually a good deal. I didn't really know much about Pokemon at the time, so I just bought anything that was available. I saw a $60 booster box. I thought it was a fake because, you know, $60 for a booster box is just impossible. Somebody's selling it on Marketplace. I bought it. It was Fates Collide, and they turned out to be all real. So yeah, that was my first booster box and pretty much the first set I was kind of getting back into. So thank you, MD Pokemon. All right, this next question is from Sam Baker. Do you think collecting/investing in creating a binder of a master set is worth it or better to collect singles? Now, I think we've answered this a little bit in a few of the other series. This one's a little bit more specific, so I will answer it. It's collecting/investing in creating a binder of a master set. Well, I think collecting or like doing master sets, completing those, is more collecting than anything else. I think most of it is about collecting than actually investing. If you want to invest, then I think it's best to go with singles, with certain singles, obviously Charizard singles, or like the original 150 Pokemon singles, or the base set starters. You know, the Pokemon that tend to do well, Pikachu's, legendary Pokemon, I think they do well as well. So, you know, if you're looking as an investing standpoint, I think singles/PSA cards, or I guess, you know, if you're doing sealed product, but this is more in regards to, I think, raw cards and stuff. Creating a binder of a master set, look, the way I see it with master sets and completed sets, it's all good and fun. It's nice to look at. It's a collection piece. Now, people do buy completed sets and master sets, but I feel like a lot of people open up their own product nowadays, so there's no need for them to buy a completed set. You know what I mean? Like, I know people do, but a lot of the collectors already, you know, pull cards themselves and stuff, and they'd be looking to buy singles to complete their actual set. So, like, for example, me, I have plenty of unfinished sets. I wouldn't find it any better to buy a completed set unless I don't have any of those cards, because why would you do that, you know? So singles, I think, is the best way to go if you're investing. If you're collecting, you know, you do what you want. Collecting, you shouldn't really be thinking about the money side of things with collecting, besides of, you know, trying to get the best prices so then you can finish your collection easier and more affordable. But investing, definitely, I'd go for singles, certain singles, specific singles. But with master sets and stuff, I think that's definitely for more fun. I am talking to another guy, I think Australian. He was talking about, he was going to share some of his stats in his completed set for Darkness Ablaze. So I think that would be cool to share with you guys as well if he shares that info with me, because I think some people think if you complete a set, it's you can make some profit out of it if you sell it as a completed set. It's possible, but there's so many variances, so many fluctuations in price. You know, if he completed that set all by pulling the cards, how many packs did he have to open to do that? Or, you know, how many packs or products he had to buy and open to get a half completed set, and then he had to buy the singles. So it really depends on pull rates and all that other stuff. Did he pull expensive cards, or did he have to buy the expensive cards, you know, separately? So all that plays part of it. And then, you know, how much are you going to sell the set for? What's the going rate? Is it cheaper than you actually buying all those cards separately? So I think that's something to think about. It's definitely more time saving, but yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Thanks for the question, Sam Baker. Next one. Okay, so this one's from EV Al. what do you think about the pull rate for Hidden Fates reprint? I haven't experienced a Hidden Fates reprint here, or the last one didn't even feel like a reprint. But I don't think the quality of the cards or anything like that has changed. The prices didn't really change that much because the supply was still low. In regards to pull rates, I think it's entirely the same, really. I haven't seen anyone pull any more Charizards than they did the first time round than the second time round. So yeah, like if you're talking collecting wise or investability wise, it's I think the pull rate's fine. It's just standard. I don't think there was much change at all. So thanks for your question. All right, so Lily Leon. My question is, what was your best Pokemon memory? I think I shared some in the first video, but yeah, definitely a lot of the childhood memories. The memories I've made now are probably more friendships. There's more people I'm getting to know that love Pokemon just as much as I do, or make videos as much as I do and like making content. So in regards to lately, the best memories are conversations I've had with people about stories for Pokemon and stuff. But memories back in the day, definitely my birthday party where I got booster packs, my friend giving me my first card and trading, and some of my friends giving me free cards. So those were my best memories. I did share a bit more detail in the first one if you didn't watch that. Okay, let's see. Alrighty guys, this one's a good one. This is from Jesse Cotrain, I think Cochrane, something like that. Sorry, Jesse. The number of Pokemon Facebook pages seem to have exploded in recent months. Do you think this is sustainable? Should I start one? All right. To your last question, should I start one? If you want to start one, you start one. It's kind of like, I feel it's like a YouTube channel. A lot of people say, should I start a YouTube channel? Should I do this? If you don't do anything and you want to do it, you just never really know. And if you want to start a Facebook page, then why not? It's free to do. It's work. I don't know if I've told you guys, but I am a moderator in a Facebook group, and I'll be honest, I'm not that active on it. I'd like to be more active, but that's why there's a few of us that are doing the mods and admins for it. So Facebook pages are fun to do. You build a community similar to YouTube, and people. You want to try to make a safe transaction kind of place for people buying and selling. It's exploded, yes. There's tons of Facebook pages right now for Pokemon. I've joined quite a few. I'm a mod in one of them. Do you think this is sustainable? It's as sustainable as it is, as long as the hobby keeps going and as long as people are interested. I think it's going to be always sustainable. It's always going to be there. How successful they become is entirely up to the people who run those pages, and how active they are, how active they make their community, the giveaways, all that stuff. You know how it is. So it's kind of like I said, a YouTube channel. If you're not putting out content, if you're not putting out things for sale, making the page a bit more active, then people lose interest and then they don't follow you, or they don't really, they kind of leave the group. Or if something happens like scams on your group very frequently, then you can get reported and all this other stuff. I think the safer the group is, the more rules there are that keep people safe from scams, and also just general upkeeping of a general Facebook group is always good. And I think they're always sustainable if you maintain it, and that's what it's all about. If you don't maintain the page, or if you create one and you plan on not really posting much stuff or trying to get members, and it's actually a lot more work than people realize, but it is definitely fun of being part of groups. And it is how it is. You're in a group with a lot of like-minded people who love the hobby as well. So it's good to make friendships. I've met a few people just from being in Facebook groups, and yeah, it's really fun. But it's entirely up to you. So you make it what you want to make it. It's sustainable if you make it sustainable. So that's my thoughts on that. Great question, though. Definitely lots of Facebook groups out there. And you got to pick your poison. There's plenty of Facebook groups, and some do things that you want to do and some things that don't. Some people like raffles and razzes and stuff, and others don't. So, entirely up to you what you do and your rules and stuff. So next. All right, this one's from Chris T. How many of the Pokemon sets have you completed? I'm going to say one, all right, and that's Steam Siege. I bought that as already completed. All the rest, I mean, I was doing a Pokelector series. I felt like it didn't really take off that well, but I planned on completing every single set. I did mention in another video that I was going to just focus on my vintage for now. I've got a lot of uncompleted sets, a lot of, half-finished sets, half-finished, 80%, 90%, I'd like to have them all completed, but, it's just how it is. If money was never a restraint or money was never an issue, not that it is, but I always, make sure I have enough for the real life things, bills and cars and mortgages and stuff. But I think, it's always fun. This is why Pokemon is fun, because there's so much to collect and it's forever going, like you never really run out of things to do. So that's how many sets I got. I got one, but I've got 50 different sets, all unfinished, all incomplete. Lots of work to do there, but it's about the chase. It's what you do, so All right, this is from Funky Pokemon. What do you think of third-party Pokemon products, and will you buy them? I'm going to be honest, we don't see much third-party Pokemon products in Australia, so technically I can't really buy them anyway because I don't really see much of it, but I have definitely seen them on YouTube and, in America, YouTubers. They look fun, they look interesting. I wouldn't buy them from overseas and ship them over here, so technically I wouldn't. If I was in America, I might just try them and see how they go, just like the big YouTubers, how they, try them and just see how, how they are. Booster packs and boxes and stuff, you never really know what pull rates you're going to get. And when people say, oh, well, let's see how the pull rates are in these certain boxes, I don't really believe that a certain product will always have bad pulls or good pulls. I think it's always luck of the draw, no matter where you're getting this product from. I mean, the ratios and stuff might look funny. Some people said, you can, in Champion's Path, for example, in the Elite Trainer box, the pulls weren't that great compared to the pins. It's just, I think it's all luck at the end of the day. And people get superstitious and stuff, especially with third-party products, because, they're not actually from the Pokemon company. So they're going to be, criticizing it a little bit more. But, at the end of the day, as long as it's genuine, like the cards are real, I really don't mind. I wouldn't mind buying them. And if they were available here, I would buy them probably, Let's see with prices and stuff. I don't know if they'll ever come to Australia, but definitely a great question. Thanks for your question, Funky Pokemon. Okay, this one's from Ryan Willis. Congratulations, mate, on reaching the 600 mark, but you're about to hit 700. Haha, great work. Awesome, man. My question to you is, what made you do Pokemon videos, and what made you want to archive what's your favorite Pokemon? Mine is Blastoise. All right, cool. Great questions. So what made you start Pokemon videos? Just watching other Pokemon people, YouTubers do it. That's what made me want to do it. That looks fun. I wanted to do the same thing. And also, archiving, I think that's also really healthy, especially for someone like myself or any other investor out there or collector. Because, if I want to sell something later down the track, I'll be like, well, there's a video in relation to how I got that, where I got it, how it's unweighed and all that other stuff. And that's always good to do. What's your favorite Pokemon? I think I mentioned this a few times, but it's Primeape. I know it's weird, but I'm my own guy. I like Primeape. That one episode he is in the anime, if you go watch that, I think you'll like him too. But Blastoise, you said mine is Blastoise. I love Blastoise too, so, fist pump. Great question, man. All right, this one's from Squirty Squad. He's got a Squirtle on his DP pick, really cool. What do you think about the reprint of Hidden Fates? I did make a video on this whole topic, but I can't remember what my predictions were. But, with reprints, it depends on how much is printed, how big the supply is, and if it meets the demand or not. And, I think there will be a dip. There always is a dip in price when a reprint comes. But how much of a dip? Anybody can tell. I usually say it goes down to retail price as long as the reprint is selling for retail price. And that's only temporarily until that supply is gone. Once it's gone, the price just slowly goes back up again. So, and we've seen this with the reprint already. The prices did drop a little bit, but then, they're back to where they were. So it has literally not much of an effect on the actual set and the prices. I think reprints are always a good thing. It gives people the chance to buy something that they couldn't get before, or maybe they weren't around at the time. And I know some people might get a bit salty about reprints, especially the guys that were here before and invested in it purposely to try to maximize profits and stuff. But what I can say to them is they're still making something. I think and you knew the risk going in that Hidden Fates is a 1-year-old set, and any modern set is always prone to reprint. And as much as we like it or not, reprints are a good thing for the hobby. It's good for Pokemon. They get profits, and when they get profits, they make more sets. They make more things interesting for collectors and investors and stuff. So it's always a good thing if you think outside the box, and where people I guess think negatively about it is generally because they're only really thinking of themselves. I'm not saying they're selfish or anything like that, and that's just how we are. We usually think about what's impacting us first, but overall, a reprint is good. So Hidden Fates reprint, I thought it was a good thing. So yeah. Vintage Pokemon Hunter Bros, what's up, man? Congratulations on passing 600. How many push-ups can you do? This was a really funny question. Let me just show you how many I can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 800, 801, 803, 1,000, 5,000. Okay. Let's say 5,000. No, I think it was about 50. Nah, not even 50. I'd say 30. Yeah. I don't want to tell you. Nah, I did about 30, guys. Yeah. Hopefully you did more, Vintage Brothers. All right. He's got his own channel, by the way, guys. If you haven't noticed, feel free to check him out. Vintage Pokemon Hunter Bros. Okay. Next question. Okay, next question is from Riley Farr. Nice on 600 subs, bro. What do you think about Vivid Voltage? I've made a few videos on Vivid Voltage, and I guess I think it's a good set. I think it's the best Sword and Shield set so far. I think it's got a lot of investability, collectability, and I've always said, any set that has a lot of things going for it, a lot of collectability, are usually the sets that do the best in regards to investing. So I like it. I like investable sets. I like collectible sets. So yeah, Vivid Voltage, I think it's good. Next question is Davey Pokey. What is your favorite Pokemon game? Pokemon Silver all day. I love Pokemon Silver. First game I played, first game I earned, and yeah. I mean, I love a lot of the Pokemon games. They're all very similar, let's be honest. The whole adventure, you start off with a Pokemon, you catch other Pokemon, you train it, and you beat the Elite Four, you beat all that stuff. But I don't care. It's still fun. I could do it. I could play Gold and Silver. They're virtually the same, only mirrored. So I'd still enjoy it. I'd still watch it or play it or whatever. I was never into watching other people play those speed runs and stuff. If I was to ever play a game, I was thinking of doing playing Silver or something on YouTube. I would never do those speed runs though. I love to do the grind. And let me know in the comment section if you're watching this right now, do you want to see that? I might do that. It sounds fun. So next question. Thanks so much, Davey Pokey. Next question, juicy one. Very short question, but very juicy. This is from Sir Scopy or Scopy. Opinions on scalpers. All right, so I'm gonna make a whole video on this, I reckon. But short answer is, it is what it is. You know what? If we were in the same position as them, if we had the money and we knew what we're doing, they know what they're doing. We know they're smart. These guys are smart. They know what they're doing. We would do the same. So if we would do the same, does that, like, if we hate them, does that mean we're going to hate ourselves when we do the same? Tough question. Scalpers, I think, exist. We're humans, and although a lot of us might not like it, I think it's just what people do. And everyone's here to make a buck. Everyone's got money, and how they spend it and how they use it, and depending on their situation. A lot of the scalpers, you can kind of tell what they're doing. They got excess cash. They buy a whole bunch of stuff, don't leave anything for the rest of us, and then they sell it for a profit to make sure they get more money. And you know what? It's smart. Anybody would do it if they had the money. I would do it too, but it's a dangerous game they play at the same time. I know they can make money quick, and it's easy to do. For example, Champions Path. You could have bought so many Champions Path ETBs straight away, and then once you received it, sold them all for like double the price. You could have done that. I only bought one because that's all I can afford, really. And I know they make it tough for a lot of the the original collectors to just buy one product or just buy one thing that they want. Same thing happens with Vivid Voltage right now, pre-release kits. So many people buying cases, lots of cases, and people who want one can't get one because it's already bought out. Sold out, people bought them already. But it happens, It's like we can't tell them what to do with their money. Although, of course we want one. Of course, people like myself, people like you will want a product. But the thing is, if you have the money, if you were in their shoes, you'd probably do the same. Let's be honest. And I know I probably would do the same. It's good to make more money, and then you do the same thing. Everyone's trying to make money in this thing. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is. We can't. What are we gonna do? How can we combat this? A lot of people say for the shops to limit it to one person or limit a product to two per person or whatever, but that makes things harder for them. And they're making sales. That's a good thing for them. At the end of the day, they're buying it for a price as well. So somebody's always buying something for a price and then selling it for more, whether it's the shops or them. Obviously, they are selling it for way more. And I guess the shops are a bit more legit, bit more legal. In a way, the scalpers aren't really doing anything hugely illegal, but it's sad to see. And it's harder for people to, for a kid, for example, who wants to buy a booster box or an elite trainer box or one single product that can't because everything's sold out, because all these scalpers bought everything, and now they're going to put it on eBay, now they're going to put it on Facebook, Instagram, and sell for double. It's sad, but what can we do? That's definitely a huge question that to try to combat. Huge situation. I think I'll definitely make a big video on this moving forward, and maybe I don't know, I'll have to think a lot more about that question. But great question, man. I know there's a lot out there about scalpers right now. They are borderline investors, short-term flippers, short-term investors. But that's my views on them. Hate them or love them, they're here. They're probably here to stay unless they lose interest. And when they do, the thing is, they kind of manipulate the market too at the same time. If they're buying up all this stuff and they're selling it for double, triple, then they're telling people this is the value for this now because I sold it for this. A Champions Path ETB is meant to be worth $110. They're selling it for $200. So, people look at eBay sold listings as references and they say, hey, I could sell my ETB for $200. That's the going rate. And that's because the scalpers did that in a way as well. So, lots of things they do affect, but definitely I'll make another video on that. That's my thoughts on it. Moving on. All right, this one's a good question too. So many good questions. Jaden, okay. Do you find living in Australia hard to collect? Are you scared of making big purchases as they might get lost in posts coming from overseas? Kind of. So Australia is a little bit hard to collect only because we don't have everything everybody else does. And also some people charge for a premium price here because, like you said, they bought it from overseas. So they did the hard work, they did the labor to get it from overseas, they had to pay the imports and all that shit. Oh, all that stuff. And so they had to pay all that, so they charge a premium when they sell it here. Whereas if you go to America, or anywhere else they sell stuff, it could be a lot cheaper. It could be just readily available as well. You know, when booster boxes like Evolution's booster boxes, before all this boost, Evolution's booster boxes here were selling for like $200 to $300, where everywhere else in the world, or America specifically, was still selling for retail price because they have plenty there. But over here, we didn't have much stock. So over here, the supply is lower, therefore the demand is higher, so the prices are going to be naturally higher. So in that sense, prices can be difficult to and make it hard to collect. Big purchases, I have seen people buy booster boxes from overseas and it's been opened. Even my Dragon Ball Super booster box that I bought recently as well was opened by customs and not necessarily stolen or anything. It was just opened. So if I wanted to keep that sealed, it kind of defeated the purpose because they opened it. I didn't start buying anything from overseas until Pokemon, to be honest. And I don't really buy that much. I bought a booster pack. I bought a booster box. Nothing really much. I do like to buy everything here. I try to make the right friends, try to talk to the right people on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. And a lot of them are here in Australia or New Zealand or whatever. And people I trust. So I do have a friend in America that I'm trying to make a deal with as long as I get the money. But I'm not scared at all in regards to him sending it here because I know he'll package it well. I know he'll send it through the right sources. And I know it can get a bit tricky, but it's the risk we take when we buy things from overseas. And yeah, I mean, Australia can be hard. I would love for, Australia to be a bit better with Pokemon stuff, but there's a lot of communities, a lot of Facebook groups, like another person mentioned. So I do source a lot of my stuff through Australian Facebook groups and stuff like that. So I rarely buy overseas unless I can't find anything here of that product. And usually, because I collect booster pack art sets, that's probably one of the things I might go overseas for, because we don't have everything here. I haven't seen an Aquapolis booster pack here for a while, and it might get listed once every 3 or 4 months. So, something like that, if I wanted an Aquapolis or a Skyridge booster pack, I might have to go to overseas for it. But, I'm a very patient collector / investor, so for me, it doesn't matter, but I know a lot of other people, it does affect them. So, great question. All right, this is from D. Denny, or Dedeni, or, the Pokemon, Dedeni. Congrats on hitting 600. Do you collect other TCG besides Pokemon? If so, which one? I think I've made it a few times obvious, I guess, maybe, kind of, maybe. I collect Dragon Ball Super TCG, and that's pretty much it. Pokemon, Dragon Ball Super. I do have Tazos of various things, but in regards to cards, Dragon Ball Super, I do have an interest in basketball, and I have some basketball cards, but nothing as much as what I have for Pokemon or Dragon Ball Super. So, great question there. This is Emojin Yuki. Where can you sell cards? I pulled 2 secret rares from Champion's Path, and I'm looking at selling one. How should you sell it and package it to ship? I asked more than one question, but I'm not entirely sure how you two go about selling. That's fine. More than one question's fine. Where can you sell cards? I go to eBay, Facebook. Those are my 2 main go-to places. I know you're in Australia. I think for you it might be the same thing. You can always go on Gumtree and stuff, but Facebook's probably the easiest one. Congrats on the Charizard pulls. Charizard? No, 2 secret rares. I don't know, Charizard or not, the secret rares. How should you sell it and package it to ship? Yeah, I would go to Facebook first because there's no fees compared to eBay where there are fees. eBay can be a bit, I guess, easier to sell because of the whole reach it has, whereas Facebook, it only goes to people in the group. eBay's can be worldwide, or all in Australia. But how should you ship it? As safe as you can. I would put a penny sleeve, a top loader, or a card saver. You can put bubble wrap. You can put it in a box. So many options you have. If you've ever bought cards from anyone else before, I guess it's a good way to compare and to see, because like I said, before I even started this and how I even knew, I bought a lot of cards from different people. Everyone was packaging it differently. But at the end of the day, if the cards were safe and they were packaged really well, then that's all right. You know, some people use bubble mailer, some people don't. Some people put it in a box, some people don't. You know, I think at the end of the day, if the card is safe and secure, by the time it gets to you, there won't be any damage and stuff. Now, one thing I could suggest is not to put it in just an envelope or with no protection at all, because obviously there's a good chance it will get damaged. The more protection, the better. But, you know, sometimes that can cost you more in postage, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to save hassle and complaints. And you want to build up a reputation if you plan on selling more in the future. So I think that's how a lot of super sellers do it. You know, they package it really well. They look after the buyer. So then later down the track, if they say, hey, you know, I want to buy another card off you because I know you're going to look after the card, that's good for business. You know, it's good for you. So that's my suggestions. Try to look after them, and in return, they look after you. Next question. All right, so this is from Uncle Bobby. All right, so congrats on 600 subs. Do you think the price of Pokemon cards will keep going up? The price of cards will stay the same as it is now, or the price of cards will go down? That is a very general question, but, you know, a good question. In a general sense, I think the prices will, for a lot of vintage cards, will probably keep going up as this, you know, the rarity and the scarcity factor is there. A lot of the modern stuff, you know, they probably still, you know, stay the same. The stuff that will go down, I think, you know, are probably the cards that come out really quick. So, for example, a Charizard in a new set is really high right now, but then the hype drops down a little bit, kind of with Champion's Path and stuff, and you see a little bit of a dip in the price. It doesn't mean the cards aren't valuable at all. It just means there's a bit of a dip. It really depends on what card you're talking about. Like I said, very general. I think cards in general will hold their value at the very least, and holding value is a good thing. All right, so some people might see it as a negative. They might be like, oh, it's not going up any further, or, you know, not many people want it anymore, so it's just staying the same. As long as there's demand for whatever card you're thinking about, you know, I think the prices are always generally good for it. But yeah, it really depends on which cards you are talking about. But a lot of vintage stuff, I think they will continue to rise or stay the same. I don't see them coming down anytime soon. With modern cards, they're the more, you know, more at risk for going down in price. But even so, not by much. You know, not by much at all. You know, so there you go. That's my answer. Next question. All right, so the next question is from Amado974R. What do you think about the new Shiny Star B set? I think it's a good set. I think people will like it. I think people will buy it. It does remind me of Ultra Shiny GX, the Hidden Fates Japanese set, which also has risen in value. I think there's a lot of people that collect English as well. So I think a lot of them will wait for the English version of it and not buy that, considering how much they're buying already. Vivid Voltage just came out, and then Shiny Star V is coming out shortly after. So, you know, it really depends on how much money people have to spend and are ready to spend. I think it's a good set. You know, nothing to follow on it. I would buy one myself. I don't collect Japanese, to be honest. But, you know, there is definitely a lot of investability there, I think. And when it comes to English, the same deal. You know, I think the boxes will rise in value. The cards will rise in value. It has a Hidden Fates, at least Hidden Fates or better kind of predictions set for it, you know. So that's my thoughts on it. I agree with the people predicting that too. So moving forward. All right, this is from Matthew L. Congrats on over 600. Is there anything that has that the Pokemon TCG that you wish was done better or done different? For example, in terms of how sets are designed, products from the past that you wish were still done in the present, the kinds of products we get in comparison to Japan or other parts of the world. Curious to hear your thoughts. Also, what's your favorite Pokemon card in your collection? Favorite Pokemon card in the collection is probably the PSA card that I got recently, the one with the Primate, Electabuzz Haunter. I do have a lot of favorites. I do have a lot of cards that I like. So I'm just going to sum it up to that. There's so many out there. But yeah, I'll just say that for the time being. Pokemon done differently. I think they've done well so far. I definitely do want other cards to be noticed in regards to collectability wise. You know, I've said this a few times on the channel, but I feel like Charizard gets so much print, so much love, and then they forget about Blastoise and Venusaur, and some of the other OG Pokemon. You know, I think if they made a new set with just the original 150 Pokemon, I think a lot of OG collectors would love that. A lot of people would love that kind of artwork. A lot of people would recognize those Pokemon. You know, imagine if they called one set the original 150 or something like that, and every single Pokemon is just the original 150, none of the new stuff. Now, I understand they need the new stuff to keep the game going because the new generation will want the new stuff and so on and so forth, but, you know, it would be kind of cool if they just did something like that. I don't really have much to add to that. I think Pokemon's doing a really good job. It'd be nice to think outside the box a bit, be a bit more creative. They already came up with amazing rares. Maybe do something else. I don't know. Maybe change up the card design. You know, some people like the silver border on the Japanese cards versus the yellow borders on the English cards. You know, I'm not really fussed on that. I think people would like that though if they switched them over. But, you know, I like full arts generally speaking. So more full arts over, you know, gold cards and stuff. I'm not really a fan of that. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty that they could do. It'd be nice if they, you know, implemented that. The tag teams were pretty popular. I don't really see much tag teams anymore. And I know that might have been a Sun and Moon thing, but, you know, even with my favorite card that I was just saying before, it has 3 Pokemon on it. How cool is that? You know, if you had more cards like that, I think people will like it. You know, that set's only in Japan. I don't know if they never brought that in English. Sets like, cards like those Japanese promos are really cool, and they don't have any English versions of that, which is kind of sad. Like Mario Pikachu, Luigi Pikachu, I wish they were an English version as well. But, you know, there's so much they can do, but I think they do that purposely, so then it's like Japan has some sort of collectability and English has their own thing, you know, so it's got to be a bit separate, it's got to be a bit unique. So I do understand that. But from another perspective, it's just like they could do more. They have so much to work with. But I think, you know, they're slowly going through it. So, you know, coming out with amazing rares. They're doing more shinies and all that. You know, that's all right too. It'd be nice to think of something else as well. But, you know, you can't put too much into a set because then it's just like loses the flavor. You know, when you put too much salt on your chips, it's like it doesn't become very good anymore. So I think they're doing all right. They're not putting too much in a set, but they're putting just enough. Charizards, I think they could slow down a little bit, and they could probably put something else in. I think that'll be cool, but, you know, they know Charizard works. A lot of people know Charizard works, so, you know, technically they're not doing wrong that as well. So thanks for your question, man. I appreciate all your comments as well. You do comment on a lot of my videos, so thank you. Moving on. Alrighty, guys, that is all the questions we have finished. Thanks for everyone who asked a question. I answered every single question from part 1 to part 3. If you missed your question, let me know in the comment section below. I'll answer it there because I went through all the comments and it seems like they were all answered, but, you know, I could make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, so maybe I missed one, but that should be all of it. Moving on from now, I will do a 700 subscriber giveaway, and then I will also move on with other content, you know, that you guys like, informational stuff. I might plan an opening soon as well. I don't know. I kind of miss opening up packs, but that's pretty much all I have for today, guys. See you in 2 to 3 days' time. Bye.